I have 5 questions for you, and we can try to squeeze it in 10 minutes. So the first question is obviously about homophobia, because we work on LGBT issues. So I just wanted to have a brief introduction about what is your stance about homophobia, and what would you have to say to people who are suffering from it in this country?
You know, people fear what they don't understand, you know, and it's all based on fear, really. You know, probably on a cultural level, the influence of the church as well. You know, but, you know, speaking of the church, you know, in the Bible it says, if you argue with a fool, you become one. So, I don't know, you know, how you can change somebody's mind, you know. At the beginning of our career, when I used to wear a lot of dresses, it was very, very much a political statement. You know, a lot of people interpreted it as me just trying to sort of get attention. But it was a political statement, because I wanted every homophobic person in the audience, you know, to look up at the stage and to see me, want to fuck me, and then realize that my name was Brian, and then they would have to ask themselves a few questions about the fluidity of sexuality itself, you know. And that was, you know, that was my own political, you know, statement against homophobia, you know. So it's been there since the beginning of us as a band.
All right. Some of your fans were not really happy when we wrote. We also run LGBT media, online media, and we said that you're an openly gay band. And what we meant by that is that you're openly challenging queer homophobia, and you're trying to bring out the message about queer people, that we also deserve, you know, to be treated as humans. And a lot of people told us that, you know, we don't care about the sexuality. Please don't bring this up. We just want to enjoy their good music. And then we were really baffled by this, and that's why we wanted to have an interview, because do you believe that your music can be separated from your activism, and then do you believe that it's alright that your music can be stripped off from your queerness or whatever you bring the message in, and it can be simply a good music, and then the rest of LGBT issues are simply portrayed as an annoyance to the majority?
Well, I don't think that you have to be, you know, part of the LGBT community to appreciate our music, you know? You know, in the same way that you don't have to be lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans in order to like Anthony and the Johnsons, for example. I think it's up to the individual. You know, we are, you know, very much about individual freedom. You know, we try to spread a message of tolerance and acceptance, of course, everywhere that we go. But I think people choose to appreciate our music on whatever level they choose to. It's kind of their choice. We have no real control over that, you know. Our music is appreciated by I think, you know, certain people within the LGBT community, you know, and it's appreciated by people who are completely straight, you know, and that's cool. You know, every now and again, yes, we do make, you know, we do make bold statements in certain places, because we feel that it's necessary, you know.
What role does art have to play in eradicating xenophobia or xenophobic sentiments? so pervasive that they're sometimes portrayed as very much natural and naturalized, and everything that doesn't conform to it is then unnatural and must be also pushed aside the social margins. So this is a question more about art. What role do you think the art has to play in promoting tolerance in any society? Is this something that artists are tasked with?
Well, this is a very, very interesting question, because where is it written in the book of art that art should be something that makes the world a better place? Where is that written? I've never seen it written anywhere, So I think it really, really depends on the individual artist, Take somebody like Jeff Koons, for example. I don't think he's necessarily making art which is about trying to make the world a better place. His agenda is different, and he's one of the most successful artists on the planet. I think it very, very much depends on the individual artist, really. I think it can be a force for change and a force for changing people's attitudes, and a force against homophobia and xenophobia. But it depends on each individual artist's agenda, really. So I've mentioned Jeff Koons, and I would think probably on the other side of the spectrum is somebody like Yoko Ono, whose art is all about love, peace, acceptance, tolerance of all. And she wants to create, a planet where we live harmoniously together, and where world peace exists, and there is no prejudice, So that's her agenda, and I admire her for it, and I'll happily go on the record, but to saying that I'm not really a fan of Jeff Koons, and I am a big fan of Yoko Ono's work, But it really, depends on the artist. There isn't a golden rule that says art has to change the world,
Yeah, even just the word art. What does it mean? It's such an elusive concept, as well.
Yeah. So you can make it.
Yeah, basically, if I can convince someone that's worth $100,000 and tell you why,
then it is.
So it's very elusive.
And it can, who says that because you're an artist, you're actually, a person with a positive agenda? If you embrace the idea of complete freedom within art, which we do, there are going to be people who are going to create art, which is negative, which is hateful, which is homophobic or xenophobic or racist. That's the price that you pay for total freedom.
Two more questions to go. So in Georgia, you enjoy really. I already told you this earlier that a lot of people admire you, and there are people who've been your fan for many years in Georgia, and this is across wide spectrum of society, but especially among the LGBT community. What do you think makes you so popular among the LGBT community in Georgia and abroad as well?
Well, we appeal to their taste in music.
Well, I thought about this question, and I don't really want to burst your bubble, but I don't think that the majority of our audience is the LGBT community. In fact, I think that only a subsection of the LGBT community appreciates our music. The subsection that appreciates music that features loud guitars on it, because a lot of the LGBT community mainly kind of appreciates electronic music and dance music, you know? But why do we appeal to that subsection? I think because of who we are as people and because of the message that we bring, you know, wherever we go, which is a message of tolerance and acceptance. And because we write emotional music that is honest and vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. And my last question is about you. It's not about LGBT issues anymore. You turned 20 and you started really working on a new album in February. So what's next for Placebo in the coming, I don't know, years?
Well, you know, we're just going to keep making music, really. You know, there may be some kind of big to-do in 2016 to celebrate our 20 years of releasing our first album. But we've been doing this for the entirety of our adult lives. You know, this is basically our skill set, and this is what we're best at. So we have no idea what else to do. So we'll just keep going. You know?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.